this Champions League playoff picks episode of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with the promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford. I'm a rugby league totals expert from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, February the 16th. We are here to cast an eye back over the FA Cup weekend, which was fun for the most part. Before we get stuck into the Champions League playoff round, 8 games taking place over Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it completely slipped in. There's a Premier League game, which I reckon at least half of our listeners don't even know about. I didn't spot it till about 4 o'clock. You didn't know it was on, and I'm still not sure what's going on. But Wolves take on Arsenal on Wednesday night for absolutely no good reason. So we'll make a pick on that as well. Joining me from somewhere in Nottinghamshire is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Baz, how the hell are you?
Good evening. I'm very good. That Arsenal game. I did know about the Arsenal game because I picked my fantasy football team last week and picked them off there as captain because I knew there was a double game for them. But then I totally forgot about it. So had you not have messaged me to remind me, I wouldn't have made a pick.
Just so happened I had Sky Sports on the telly ever so briefly, and they mentioned it. Otherwise, it would have been a complete surprise, and maybe someone in the chat would have pointed it out to us. It was an interesting weekend of FA Cup action. We'll get to lots of it. A little bit of housekeeping to start with, Baz. We'll get to the rugby league, shall we, early on? Fair enough. It was an under. It finished 19-18. I gave the under as under 40.5. But did you see any of the game, Baz? Are you aware of the score?
No.
So York covered as 20, won the game. York won outright as 24.5-point underdogs. So fuck knows what price to it. So maybe it's the system play. It was the underdogs because last year was Lee Leopards when they won 1-0. And this year, York, with a last kick drop goal, touched off Hull KR 19-18. So the under did hit. But I don't know what price it would have been outright. It's 24.5-point dogs. So remember, everyone, stick this in your diary. Week 1 Super League next year, Thursday night. We're on the dog. That's the system. And I went to see Pat Nevin, if you remember.
Oh, yes.
It was good fun. I enjoyed it. He's clearly like an intelligent fella, bit of a raconteur, lots of tales to tell. There was fans from all his ex-clubs there, Everton, Chelsea, Celtic. There was one bloke sitting in front of us in a Tranmere shirt, of all things, in the mean streets of Gosforth on a Thursday night. But the over 1.5 non-white males cashed, Barry. You're right. There was about 8 women. There was no non-whites, but there was about 8 women there, whether they were the designated drivers or they were genuine Pat Nevin fans. It was all right. It was quite good fun. I enjoyed it. Had a couple of beers. So that was the housekeeping, Bars. Have you any housekeeping to tell us how you've been? Where have you been? You've been all over the place again.
I've been all over the place, yes. I
saw you were up a mountain. Was it a mountain or was it a hill or was it AI?
Let's have a look.
Oh, here he is. Look at fucking hell, Barry. Look at that.
That was me up the top of not a mountain. It was a hill.
Not at the top, but hang on a minute.
It was a hill.
Don't say you're at the top when there's clearly more higher things behind you. You're not at the top, are you?
I made the top, though. I got
right, okay, all right. That's
so.
Well,
we did get there.
We've got your word. If you made the top, why would you take a photo halfway up?
It was a nice picturesque spot on it with all the snow in the background.
Picturesque is the top.
Well,
I put it to you, Barry. I put it to you that's as far up that hill as you got.
No, I got to the top of a hill where me and Chloe got up early on Saturday morning. There was no football. So we drove across to the Peak District and went for a bit of a walk. So
you're fucking bonkers.
It was fucking bitter. Honestly, we got out of the car. It was -4 when we got there. But actually, once we got moving, it was all right. I had all the layers. I got all the gear now for hiking. So I was.
Your SGPN rucksack.
Chloe had the SGPN rucksack.
Oh, okay.
I had my own rucksack. But
nice.
yeah, we had a nice walk. It was a nice day. It was the first day this year where the sun's actually been in the sky. So that was a bonus. We got out for a walk, and I told you, I sent you a message. I drove past.
Oh yes. Hey.
Town of Bamford.
Is Bamford in the high peak? It's so if you're I mean, this is great audio, by the way. If you're one of the 98% of people who don't watch this who listen to it, Barry's put up a photo of it. Is it a village called Bamford?
Yeah.
The sign says Bamford in the high peak. So is that the full name of the village, or is it just called Bamford?
It's just Bamford. It's in the Peak District. So yeah, it was about a mile away from where we went walking. Actually, there's a walk around there that we want to do next time.
How come there's no snow there, Barry? None of this adds up, by the way. Your story is full of holes.
The snow was only at the top of the hill. That's why. There wasn't any snow at the bottom of the hills. You had to climb high to get to the snowy
How
bits.
high was this hill? It's not the fucking Himalayas, Barry. It's fucking
dark. The Himalayas, but there was snow. I've just showed you the picture.
There's fucking snow caught in the land bag in this, Barry. Absolute shite.
It's like Malcolm doesn't understand that snow can fall on the high ground, but not on the low ground. But there you go. Anyway,
thousands of feet of elevation difference, not 30 yards up.
Fucking, I climbed up a big fucking hill, man. Scrambling my way up through waterfalls and fucking all sorts. Actually, I was really pleased it was -4. For the only reason being, it would have been a fucking struggle if it wasn't frozen because the ground was rock solid.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it would have just been a muddy, slippy mess climbing up and coming down, and it would have been no fun at all. So I was quite pleased it was cold. But yeah, we had good fun. It was nice to get out and get out, be at one with nature. You know, that's me.
Yeah, that is you very much. Baz Grills. Remember, that was the old Barry's Barbecue channel. That you barbecuing something in the wilderness called Baz Grills. Fucking hell, Barry. As an ideas man, I am absolutely second to none.
And one other thing.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Hit a big milestone. Finally hit the fucking 10 stone mark this week.
Hey, 10 stone lost. Barry.
I started this fucking plan 51 weeks ago, and I was determined I would lose 10 stone in 12 months. So I've done it with a week to spare, so I can just fuck about now.
You can fuck about. Well done. Congratulations. Daytona 500 this weekend. NASCAR Gambling Podcast crew hooking up. Listeners giving away $100 cash and $100 SGPN gift card. Enter for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Daytona. And there's not many people in the chat tonight. Where's everybody gone, Baz? Monday night? Is something happening in that America or something? We've got Callum and Lee, squad number 7 and 9. Joe Dollar, who's on the transfer list. He's not getting the squad number. Continually trying to needle us in the chat. I want to say hello to Lonyane, who's been listening, old friend of a friend, but I remember the name from a long time ago. But Lonyane has been getting involved. So hello, mate. Nice to have you. Picks-wise, going back to the FA Cup, we'll do the picks before we do the talking points. Let's call them talking points, Barry. So the
was there any
games
points at the weekend, Malcolm.
There was a 1 or 2 talking points, Barry. There were some points that we can talk about. Yes. We'll call them talking points. That's the name of the section that we'll come to. Handicapped 4 games, 1-2, lost 2. Brentford to win to 0 was a winner tonight. Just about got there. I think, given average luck, that was the correct outcome. Accrington made 1 or 2 half chances. Brentford largely dominated, like you'd expect, but it was a great price. I mean, it was still went off 21-20 plus 105. Great pick, that one. And the other one, fucking Norwich, 5-4 on Thursday night. Now, we sometimes give out like a line movement report, but you don't often see too much in football. You might see something nipped in a 10th of a point or something. About 2:15 on Saturday afternoon, I messaged you, in fact, while you were telling me you were up this mountain. I said, with our little pot, I fancy getting involved in Norwich. I really fancy them strongly at 5-4. Went to have a look, and they were 7-10 So they've gone from plus 125 to minus 142, which was a huge move. So in the end, didn't bet it because I didn't want to bet it's 7 to 10. Game I wasn't going to watch. I had a couple of Bundesliga commentaries, so I wasn't going to watch it. I didn't want to get involved. And Norwich did the job eventually, won 3-1. So could have covered a handicap as well, really. I threw out Mansfield as an underdog. It's 7-1. I did say I fancied Newcastle, which we'll come to in a little while. The two losers I had, Man City was just a bad pick, never quite happened. Maybe if Marmoush's disallowed goal had been allowed to stand, it might have unlocked it a little bit earlier, but it wasn't. And the Chelsea game handicapped it perfectly, got the wrong pick, or didn't win, basically. Sometimes you have a bet and it doesn't win, which is what happened. Chelsea, loads of goals. Hull missed loads of chances. The bet was Chelsea to win with both teams to score. Hull missed chances. Hull hit the post. They missed about 3 glorious chances in stoppage time at the end of the game, as I was leaping around. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but in front, what else? So I give out the other big line movement was the cards in Birmingham. Leeds went really odds on, but then that game was entirely woke. They just refused to kick shit out of each other. It was a good game, actually. It was just woke nonsense. So Leeds won on penalties, so that was a loser. But otherwise, yeah, profit bars quite happy with mine. I've got no idea how you did, Baz.
Yeah, you did better than me. The only winner I had was the Villa Newcastle game. I took over 3.5 complete fuck ups by the referee. No, I took over 2.5 goals in both teams to score. So I had the goals in that one, which came good. The one I was annoyed with was Wrexham Ipswich because I talked Wrexham up as an underdog.
Yeah, that's absolutely. You've done everything there,
and you know what it is.
You've picked a losing bet somehow.
Yeah, there was 11-4 to win, and I watched McKenna, Ipswich manager, in his press conference on Friday, and I was even more convinced because he said he basically talked down the fact he was going to put out a load of reserves and stuff like that. And I somehow managed to pick a loser by taking Wrexham team total over 1.5, and Wrexham won 1-0. So I did, I steered in the right direction, picked a losing pick. Man City was exactly the same as yours. And unfortunately, Southampton Leicester let me down as well. That finished in a draw with Southampton. I think Southampton won it later on, didn't they? I needed them to win in 90 minutes. So, yeah, one pick for me out of mine. I did have the corner ladder. Didn't get up the ladder. We just got to the first rung. Newcastle got the 5 corners, and that was it.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit unfortunate, actually. It looked like we could have had a load more. Yeah, we'll get to the talking point and some other bits and bobs in a moment. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Loads of trading options for your favourite sports. There's politics, entertainment, weather on there too. Yeah, new Kalshi customers get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. That's KALSHI, promo code SGPN. And we are also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is the #1 social sportsbook and casino, available in over 35 states, including Texas and California. Get in the action with Rebet. Get a 100% purchase match up to $100 with the promo code SGPN. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. Talking points, Barry. Villa v Newcastle caught my eye at the weekend for one or two reasons. I'll tell you what, the teams I hate, apart from Manchester United and Liverpool, obviously, which never goes away. That's always bubbling away right on the surface. My level of hate for other teams tends to go in a bit of a cycle sometimes, kind of depending on whether or not how well we've done against them recently, how much they've antagonized me for whatever reason, whether they've been shit. Sometimes they've been hiding in a different division. And Aston Villa are one of the, like Everton sort of have gone away a little bit for me, and Tottenham have gone away a little bit, where in the past they've been right at the top. And Villa were one who'd gone away a little bit, but what always brings it back, however I know, is sometimes the instinct gets you. Something visceral takes over. And when Nick Waltermar's shot went into the top corner, I was fucking up. I hate them fuckers. I absolutely hate them fuckers. I went mad for about 20 minutes, shouting and bawling. I was absolutely over the moon. There's nothing better than when you win a game of football on the back of injustice. It's absolutely brilliant. Whether you're in the ground, and we've done it before when you say a red card, something hasn't gone your way. When there's been some injustice and you get the win, that's an all new level. And that instinct pleases me when it happens. because I do hate fucking Villa with every right. They're twats. The fans are all twats. And all right, Wayne, by the way. So yeah, fucking like I was absolutely over the moon, Baz. But I mean, and we can laugh about it now, which we are. But can you imagine if we'd lost that game of football? Fuck it. I would not have enjoyed sitting here, Barry, having had to watch that game of football. And the whole experience for me was nuts because I was simultaneously supposed to be commentating on a Bundesliga German game. I missed a goal. When all that free kick silliness was happening, I looked back at the German game and the Cologne number 9 was dancing around the corner flag. He'd equalised and I'd completely missed it. I had to go to my staple. Oh, Cologne have scored out of the blue. And then I saw the replay. It wasn't out of the blue. It was like an 8-man passing move. And he slotted it in the corner. Completely missed it. But it was just baffling, Baz. I mean, we don't have to go on about it now because we won. And I'm sure everyone's seen it. And there's not much you can go on about, but fucking hell, Baz, it was something else, wasn't it?
I just never known anything like it. For just the continuation, the way it just grew and grew and grew. And I think everyone else was upstairs. But by the time the non-penalty come around, I've never shouted so loud, fuck off. Yeah. I was absolutely screaming. And then Helen come down 10 minutes later and went, I assume this isn't going well. I went, well, actually, it's 1-1 at the moment, but you won't believe what's got. It was just the way it went again and again and again. And by the time it got to that point, it was just like, nah, this is like some sort of hidden camera show. Like there was somebody somewhere just recording all Newcastle fans' reactions as it got more and more ludicrous. The problem was, there wasn't even anything difficult. You know, we'll sort of give referees a bit of slack when it's a tough...
People are talking about it as it's a VAR issue. Wasn't it? Not really. None of that was a VAR issue.
It was just total incompetence. The free kick for a start, so their goal that was offside, I mean, it's from a free kick. So the linesman is able to get into the perfect position because he stands on the last defender. To make it even easier for him, the entire Newcastle defence stood on a big white line.
There's a fucking white line drawn for him,
That helps. So the white line's already there. And then the 3 Villa players stood in front of that white line. The potential red card on Murphy was 3 foot in front of him. Like, absolutely no way he could miss it.
I can forgive that one. That
was,
to me, that was like a modern red card. That was a VAR red card. That's when the bloke gets sent off having had it reviewed, because it happens really quickly and you're not sure where he catches him or if his foot's bounced up off the ball or bounced off of the ground or his foot to shin shit. Like, I get it, it's fine. They're the ones you just accept and get on with. The penalties, you could accept and get on with the penalty decisions.
Yeah, if you told us we'd get rid of VAR and we might sometimes get decisions like that wrong, you take it.
But yeah, that's
but yeah, there was the penalty again, good enough view. Then when it gets to the free, like, I'm just shaking my head when it comes to that penalty because I don't know how either of them could genuinely have thought he was outside the box. Like, at no point was he outside the box.
He was never outside the box.
He didn't land in the box. He argued about the foul from inside the box. Like, and then they didn't even fucking book him. Like, he was on a second yellow. Just fucking laughable, wasn't it?
It was incredibly
laughable. You can only laugh because it ended well in the end. But man, as you say, I would have still been raging now.
I mean, you can tell from the players' reactions. They often, even whatever level I'm watching, you can tell from the players' reactions what's happened. Like I said it last year when Anthony Gordon got sent off against Brighton in the FA Cup, was right up the other end, but you could just tell what. And I thought, yeah, that's legit red card. And Burn was over tonight. People from all over the pitch were clearly convinced they knew that it was inside the box. So I don't know how the two blokes missed it. In the offside, that's like, say, day one at refereeing school. Maybe not in the morning. In the morning, like before lunch, say, right, here's your black jumper. Here's your little pencil. That's fine. Have your lunch. But then after lunch, it's like, right, offside. And this is what offside is. That was the offside they would use to demonstrate an offside. Like, fucking hell. It was absolutely wild. And you can laugh about it now. Since then, did you enjoy the FA Cup draw, Barry? Yeah, Newcastle will take on Manchester City for a nice change. That'll be good.
You know, after all of that, none of it really fucking matters because we get Man City again. 5 times we're going to play Man City. 5 fucking times this season. And also, I was reading, this will be the 11th time we've played Man City in 3 seasons. So that's a lot of cup draws against Man City over a short period of time. Like, just is what it is, isn't it? We'll just have to fuck them up at home.
Yeah, and we will do as well. I tried to find the outright prices before for the FA Cup, but I think it wasn't long enough after that Macclesfield-Brentford game it finished, so fuck that. It's boring. There is some good news, Barry. We haven't talked about this for a little while. Our World Cup group qualifying bet, where I've been putting all the loose change on Scotland, Iran, Ghana, and Senegal to make it out of the World Cup groups. That's taking a little boost this weekend because there was little fivers winning on stuff. I did Rangers Hearts yesterday. I commentated on that. Hearts look totally cooked, by the way. You might want to fade Hearts. Their legs have fallen off. Both teams to score, landed inside 12 minutes. I backed Rangers at heart. It was 2-2 at half time. Rangers were clearly going to batter them. Backed Rangers at even money. Finished 4-2. There was a little bit, got Sri Lanka today in the T20 at a big price. So our group bet on that, it's up to about £78 or something now, Baz, at 130. But the good news, Barry, is I've opened another one. We've got another long ranger, another one you're taking a run up to. And this, Barry, is, I don't even know the bloke's name. The Winter Olympics bloke going down the hill. What's it? Martin Weston. Simon Weston.
Oh, yes, yeah. Skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Him, like, to win Sports Personality of the Year, there's no competition. The only way he loses is if England win the World Cup and then Harry Kane wins it. Other than that, we're absolutely home and host. So we've got £13. Hey?
What price is he?
He was 14-1. I got on at 13-2. And then 6-1, and he's contracting all the time. So we've got £13.58 Baz on so far. It's 6-1. And this is a nice Christmas thing, isn't it? Because it's always like the week before Christmas, Sports Personality of the Year. So this will pay for our Christmas. So we'll top that up after we've topped up the World Cup group bet. So there's something for everyone to take a run up at. I think, Barry, that's all the chat. Have you got anything you want to tell the people before we make some picks?
No, we'd better get on and make some picks. We've got a lot of them, haven't we? You've forced me into making 8 picks on the 8 Champions League games. I'm used to like the midweek show being a bit of a like pick your best bets, 4 or 5 games maybe, and then you came in with 8, and then you threw the Arsenal game in it. So I've ended up having to make 9. I feel like I've had to work hard for this one.
I did strong arm you into that, but I just feel because we're doing the Prem and there's 10. When there's less than 10, I don't know why we would do less than 10. Do you know what I mean? The 8 was 8.
I'm okay with it. I felt
we owed
7 winners at least.
We owed our readers that commitment, Baz. Okay. Underdog got you covered for pick 'em almost every sport. Getting an underdog win up to 5,000 times your money. Brand new offer. Play $5, get 75 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code SGPN. And Rhythm has been on a heater for college and NBA picks. Really easy to sign up, run predictions off the house, or make your own play with the sliders. If you're looking to go premium, the promo code is SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm. Promo code is SGPN25. Do we want to get the Prem game out the way, or do we do Prem first?
Yeah, this is the Premier League gambling podcast, so it feels like we should go Prem first.
Oh,
my handicap's quite short, to be honest. It'll take me
mine, yeah. In fact, I didn't even handicap it. I just made the all too obvious pick. So 8 o'clock Wednesday, Wolves take on Arsenal. Wolves are 10-1 underdogs. The draw is 21-4 plus 425 or 17-4, sorry. And Arsenal are round about 1-3 minus 300. I'd stop pretty quick, Baz. This is a lovely spot for Arsenal just to sneak in a win. Like the game's sneaked in. Everyone's going to be watching other shit. It's going to be low profile. And Arsenal yesterday, that Wigan game, I kind of forgot they were playing. I checked the score at 4:30. That rhymes. And they were 4-0 up. And I see that kind of thing happening tomorrow. Arsenal have played 8 games against the bottom 6 teams. 6 of them, they've covered a 1.5 handicap, including 2 out of 3 of the away games. Like I said, it's the perfect spot for a sneaky. I mean, it was bloodless at the weekend for Arsenal. They didn't have to put any effort in. Great spot for them with Manchester City not playing to flex their muscles, win 3-0, and just move on without anybody noticing. Wolves -1. Arsenal -1.5. Round about 9 to 10, -111, Barry.
Yeah, I didn't look at the handicap. I just got drawn straight in. I had a pick that I had in mind and I went for it. But actually, listening to you, I probably prefer the handicap to my pick. I've ended up going for the win to nil. Wolves are just struggling for goals. They've failed to score in 4 of the last 5 league games now. So yeah, Arsenal being a short price, take them to win to nil and get 10 to 11. So a similar price to yours. Very good chance we'll both cash with a 2-0, 3-0. So the pick for me is going to be Arsenal win to nil, 10 to 11.
Yeah, Callum's gone the win to nil as well. Joe's the Arsenal corners over 6.5 team total. The only thing with that, I just think maybe it might just fizzle out. If they get ahead, if they're 2-0 up at half time, add a third on, the whole game might just fizzle out and they might struggle just to put them to run the numbers up, kind of thing, if you know what I mean, Joe. Okay. Champions League. This is the playoff round for the teams that finished 9th to 24th in the big mega league stage. 4 games on Tuesday, 4 games on Wednesday. There's an early kickoff both days. The first of which is 5:45 on Tuesday, 2:45 Eastern time between Galatasaray and Juventus. Galatasaray are 5-2 plus 250. The draw is 5-2 plus 250. Juventus are 21-20 plus 105. This is 20th against 13th in the league stage. Juventus finished 3 points above Galatasaray. Galatasaray won 3 games in a row, match days 2, 3, and 4, and then finished with just 1 point out the last 4 games. And they lost at home to USG, and then had a 1-1 draw with Atletico. Atletico Madrid. 3 of the 4 home games were under 2.5. They've won 8 out of 10 in the Turkish Super League, but that form really isn't comparable here. Juventus only lost once in the group stage. That was at Real Madrid. So really, Galatasaray don't appeal at 5-2. Juventus are very good at avoiding defeats. So I don't fancy Galatasaray to turn them over. Juventus had 3 points through 4 games. Wasn't the great start. But then they won 3 in a row. Fairly easy opposition. Their last 3 games also were all under 2.5. But the Serie A form completely contradicts that. There's been 14 goals in the last 3 games. This was really tricky, Baz. Juventus draw no bet. I wanted to pick, but by the time I got there, it was 1-2, -200. This is going to be a slow burner, Barry. I'm going to take the half-time draw, 5-4, plus 125.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought you were going to end up in the same pick for a little bit there. Galatasaray obviously scraped away, and you've mentioned got off to a really good start in the competition, picked up 9 points from the first 4, and then really tailed off, only 1 point from the final 4 games. So hard to fancy them, given they've really dropped off. Different story for Juventus, who started off with 3 points from their first 4, but then finished strong, 10 points from the last 4. So it does feel a little bit like you've got one team who've faded in this against the side who are really growing into it. I don't mind Juve as a pick here based on that, but my bet's from a different market. I've gone into the goals market, and I like the unders. You've mentioned there. Unders has got decent form for both sides. Juventus kept 3 clean sheets in the last 3 games in the Champions League. The unders has hit in 5 of the last 6 Champions League games for Juventus as well. And Galatasaray scored just once in their last 4 games in this competition. All 4 of those games went under 2.5. So just the recent form in the Champions League for both sides is pointing to the unders. I think Juve might nick it 1-0, 2-0, but I'll take the unders at even money.
Yeah, you can tell it's tricky. Every pick that's come in the chat contradicts what Joe's gone Galatasaray plus half, where I wanted Juve draw no bet. Callum's gone both teams scored over, as you've taken the unders. It was a really tricky one. I actually forgot to mention, I did the stats from last season, Baz, at the top of this, because this is a new thing, this playoff round. So last season, 6 of the 8 went over 2.5. 4 and 4. Both teams to score yes and no. And only handicaps only covered in 2 of the 8 games. All the other 6 were won by 1 goal. There was no draws. So that's what happened last year. If that kind of thing blows your skirt up, then fair enough. 8 o'clock, Benfica in Real Madrid. Benfica 27-10 plus 270. The draw 29-10 plus 290. Real Madrid 17-20 minus 117. Barry.
Yeah, so this one's a repeat of the crazy 4-2 in the final match day, wasn't it? With the Benfica keeper scoring to get them into the final qualification spot. So 4-2 win versus Madrid on the road there for Benfica. Plenty of goals, plenty of madness. But I think you've got to be probably a little bit careful not to expect the same again with it being a first leg tie. And that one just had a lot riding on it. Real Madrid had the top 8 place at stake. Benfica were having to go for it because of the qualification ramifications for them. So I think this one might be, it's got potential to be a little more underwhelming. I struggled a bit in terms of coming out and picking a side here. I thought the prices were probably fair enough for Madrid, rightfully favourites. But Benfica finished strongly in this competition. No win in the first 4. And then 4 wins. Sorry, how many? Lost my stats there. I wrote some notes, but I haven't wrote them very well. I think they won 3 of the last 4 is what I've got. So I wouldn't rule them out keeping this close. As I say, they're sort of growing into it and became stronger as the tournament went on. I didn't have strong feelings either way for either side. So I've gone into the corners market here. A little bit of a cop-out or just throwing a little bit of variety. I've got a few little variety picks tonight.
Cop-out or variety is a strong segment, but you decide.
We're just going to vary it up. We've got 8 games, so let's mix it up a bit. Benfica corners, it's going to be. The line's only 3.5. They've hit that line in 7 of the 8 games in the Champions League, including 6 in the game against Real Madrid, 8 against Newcastle, 5 against Chelsea, 6 against Leverkusen. So they've got decent form for corners against decent sides. And across all competitions as well, domestically and, Champions League, recent form shows they've hit at least 6 in 7 straight games. And we only need 4. So 2 picks. Benfica team corners over 3.5 at 8-11. It's going to be my pick. But I'm going to have a little go on the over 5.5 as well at 11-4 plus 275.
No, it's a nice angle, Baz. It might sound like a cop-out, but you've backed it up nicely. You said this might be a little bit more underwhelming because of what was at stake in the last game, but I don't see it because I've watched Real Madrid a few times in this competition, and they don't know to do anything different. We've seen this game. This was a really easy handicap for me. Real Madrid's last 4 Champions League games have finished 4-3, 2-1, 6-1, and 4-2. It's just the same every week. I took them. It was Olympiacos. Who did they beat 6-1? Maybe. I think it was Olympiacos. Real Madrid beat 6-1. It was one of my commentary games, and it could have been fucking 10-7. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. So I can't remember. I don't know if it was them. Regardless, it didn't matter who the oppo was. Absolutely didn't matter who the oppo was. And this doesn't matter. We've just seen it. Factor in Mourinho. This is your bet builder game. This is if you're going to cobble together a 75-1 shot. You've just put one leg in for the corners, Baz. This is the game you're going to do it. This is the one where goals, cards, corners, Mbappe to score. I think Mbappe scored 11 or 12 goals in the 8 games. This is your bet builder game. If it finishes 0-0, so be it. But if you're going to cash a 75-1 shot, it's on this game. I'm not telling you what it is. But both teams are scoring over 2.5. It's 5-6 minus 120. 8 o'clock Tuesday, Borussia Dortmund take on Atalanta. Dortmund 21-20 plus 105. 27-10 the draw plus 270. Atalanta 12-5 plus 240. 17th v 15th. 2-point gap in favour of Atalanta, this one. I struggled with both of these teams when we were doing the weekly pick show. I got them whenever I took Dortmund to win, they didn't. And Atalanta the same. Dortmund didn't finish well at all. They lost against Inter and Tottenham and drew at home to Bodo, Glimt. I found them really consistent. Now, they win every week in the Bundesliga. They've won 6 in a row. In the last 7 Bundesliga games, they've scored 4-2, 3-3, 3-3-3. So that's a consistent trend. Atlanta's form dropped off. This is the problem here. 2 defeats to Bilbao and USG. That's poor. Bilbao were dog shit, by the way. That was the night I picked Atalanta. They were 1-0 up at half time. I have no idea how they got beat. So 2 defeats to 2 of the worst teams in this competition. Doing okay in Syria. They're in 6th, unbeaten in 8. But there's too many draws. And they've only got 4 away wins all season. 4 away wins in 12 in Syria. The last 2 away games were 0-0 against Como and 1-1 v Pisa. They lost Ademola Lookman, who's a big player for them. I don't think they can keep up with Dortmund. Dortmund scoring all those goals, and Atalanta can't keep up with them. Dortmund at 21-20, I don't mind, Baz. I will caveat that by saying I've got them wrong every time I've picked the fuckers this season. So we'll have another go, Baz.
Yeah, I think I'm similar with Dortmund as well. But yeah, slightly different pick.
Tottenham was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think Tottenham beat them the same week that Atalanta blew it against whatever. So I've got a bit of PTSD from both of these, but
yeah, I mean Dortmund had been full of goals. You've mentioned full of goals domestically, but in this competition scored 4 goals in 4 out of their first 5 games. As you say, struggled in the final 2 games, back-to-back 2-0 defeats, but they were still one of the highest scoring teams in the group stage. And Atlanta's form was very similar. Started strongly, albeit with a bit of thought they had quite a favourable schedule as well, Atalanta, before losing their last 2 games as well. I thought just with Dortmund being at home as well, you have to favour them. They scored 10 goals across their 4 home games, and I thought goals was the way to go. They're a decent price for a couple. It's not very often you get Dortmund at home and a reasonable price for a team total. Dortmund have scored 2 goals, 5-6, -120. I just thought it was a fair price. So I'll take Dortmund over 1.5 goals at 5-6.
See, now I instantly like your pick better than my pick. I must have just not looked at that because I absolutely would have picked it. Final game on Tuesday night is an all-French affair between Monaco and Paris Saint-Germain. Monaco are 9-2 plus 450. The draw is Burlington Bertie 100-30 plus 333. PSG are 11-20 minus 181. Baz, un kilo de tomates. What have you got?
Well, I wanted to oppose PSG. I struggled to get there in terms of backing Monaco in the end, but PSG haven't been having it their own way lately, either in the league or in this competition. They won only 1 of the last 5 in the Champions League. Dropped points to Newcastle, Sporting, Bilbao, Bayern. And even the game they managed to win in those 5 was Spurs. They conceded 3 goals against Spurs. They lost to Rennes at the weekend in the league. And more importantly, they lost the head-to-head back in November, late November, against Monaco. Lost that 1-0 as well. So you look at the form line for PSG, and it's not the usual sea of green that you usually see, particularly domestically. There has been a few bumps in the road for them this season. And for all those reasons, I just thought PSG at 1-2 away from home felt very short. So I wanted to factor Monaco in. 6 out of 8 PSG games went over 2.5 in this competition. 6 out of 8 saw both teams to score, and 5 of the 8 saw both of those hit. Both teams to score over 2.5, only hitting 4 of the 8 for Monaco. But the 4 where it didn't hit was always because they were keeping clean sheets. And I think it's a bigger ask here for them to keep a clean sheet. I think PSG will score, but I think Monaco are going to play their partner as well. So I'm going to take the both teams to score over 2.5 goals here, 10-11.
I kind of came into this lazily, instinctively thinking I would end up on PSG. And for all the reasons you just said, I got further and further away, and my pick is not where I thought I would end up when I started doing this. Monaco picked up 10 points in the group, just 2 wins and 4 draws, hard to beat. 1-1 and drew 3 at home. They did have quite an easy draw. PSG just stuttered a bit, though. They've got no win in the last 3. They're 20 points ahead of Monaco in Ligue 1, but Monaco's home form is good. As you said, they won the head-to-head 1-0 in November. Monaco have won the last 2 home games by an aggregate of 7-1. And PSG were rubbish against Newcastle. Fucking dog shit that night. So I totally flipped my instinct on this. I'm going to take the Monaco double chance at 11-8. Plus 137. I think they can avoid a defeat. We go to Wednesday, where the early kick-off, 5:45, 12:45 Eastern Time, is Qarabag taking on Newcastle United. Qarabag are 6-1. The draw is 4-1. Newcastle 2-5, minus 250. 22nd against 12th in the original league table. Qarabag, they were a fun story. I didn't mind them. They won their first 2 games, and then only picked up 4 points in the next 6. So scraped through with 10 points. They were fun to watch at various points. Loads of goals, 34 goals in their 8 games. Qarabag, so over 4 goals per game. Well, 4.5, in fact. Is that right? 32, add half times 4. Yeah, 4.5 goals per game. But hashtag maths. They finished with a 4-2, a 3-2 against Eintracht, and then a 6-0 defeat at Liverpool. And we've said before, Premier League form against these dog shit teams. Premier League form against any other team is worth something. Newcastle are much shorter than I thought, actually, 2-5. Newcastle were good all the way through this competition. They did the damage by beating the bad teams at home, which is fair enough. But they played well against Barcelona. They should have won at Marseille and Leverkusen. They were unlucky at PSG. They've been better recently. They've just come off wins at Tottenham and Villa when really nothing was going our way. And there was just some little shoots. Obviously, Bruno G's injured, but I think Tonali might just step in. Ramsey and Willock suddenly look all different than they did. We didn't. It's a horrible travel sport, but we didn't kill ourselves on Saturday. We did play a lot of the time against 10 men. Gordon didn't play. Wissa didn't play. So I think we've got options. We did well at Tottenham and Villa. Both teams' games, Champions League games and otherwise, have been full of goals. So Newcastle to win and over 2.5 match goals is going to be the answer. 9-10, minus 111. Qarabag might just sneak one. Newcastle do have problems keeping the old clean sheet lately. We might go and win 3-0 is your other option. That'll get you a win. So Newcastle to win with over 2.5 match goals, Barry.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't know what I was expecting when I come to this, but I wasn't expecting to see Newcastle as short as 2-5.
I thought they might just be a money line play, 8-11 or something.
I was thinking the same, but actually, I did think we'd be a bigger price, and sort of straight away it takes out any pick I was thinking, because I was thinking I might get them on a money line or, I think team total. I was thinking Newcastle to score a couple might have been on the cards, but turned out it wasn't. And actually, the more you looked into the form, it started to make a bit more sense, really. I think I had in my head that Qarabag had been a bit better than they have. Done well to get here, but they've conceded plenty of goals as well. So as I say, I did want to go Newcastle team total. Managed to get on the score sheet in every game. Scored 2 or more in 5 of the 8 as well. But then you look at the Qarabag form line, 7 of their 8 games, they'd conceded 2 goals as well. But as I say, 1-2 for Newcastle to score 2 or more. But I did want to keep in the goals market. I didn't really want to push it to 3 for Newcastle. So I looked at both teams to score in over 2.5 was an option. Last 3 home games for Qarabag, so 3-2, 4-2, 2-2. So plenty of goals there. They've scored 2 themselves in every one of their 4 home games as well. But I moved away from that, just looking at the Newcastle form. They've kept 4 clean sheets in the 8 games. And against better sides than this, including away games as well, PSV, Union Saint-Gilloise. So I got back to Newcastle goals, but to get a price, I've had to go for Newcastle to score both halves. It sort of plays into your pick as well. We can both cash a winner out of this. But yeah, Newcastle to score both halves is 6-5. I mean, Qarabag do let a ton of goals in. It's just whether we can capitalise in each half. But I think we'll definitely have at least 2 goals in us. Hopefully we can get 1 in each half. So Newcastle score both halves, 6-5, plus 120.
Oh, sniffer of the week, that, Baz. That's another nice one. That's 2 of them you've got tonight. You've dragged out. I like it.
Oh, the next one's the arse sniffer.
You're sniffing more arses.
Variety, let's just say.
I refuse to read out any more of Joe's comments until he types NUFC instead of NCFC. Norwich City aren't playing this week, Joe, in the Champions League. And I know he's doing it on purpose, but
Does
at some
he do
point,
it on purpose, or I don't know.
I don't think he started doing it on purpose, because he originally would type new space castle with a capital C. So I think originally, which is fine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having a go at all. That's fine. Joe's learned now, though, because we've talked about it. And now the NCFC is clearly just antagonistic. So at some point, we need to make a stand, Barry, and we make a stand right now. Unless the next message you type, Joe, says NUFC, your messages have been read out for the last time. 8 o'clock on Wednesday, threatening the Reader's Pass. 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Bodo Glimt take on Inter Milan. Bodo Glimt are 15-4, plus 375. 3-1 the draw. Inter Milan have drifted, actually, 7-10. Minus 142. They were 4-6, minus 150. This is my assignment, Barry, on Wednesday night. I will be in the Arctic Circle, providing live commentary for everyone in West Africa of Bodo Glimt v Inter Milan. So that's exciting. Baz, your turn.
Yeah. Bodo are another team where goals have been prevalent. Both teams have scored over 2.5 goals has hit in 7 of their 8 games. Only failed to score once as well. And they have managed to put up goals against some decent sides. Atletico, Man City, Dortmund, Juve. So they've had a tough schedule as well. Like, they've done well to get this far, given the strength of schedule they had. And actually, they had all their easy games at the start, picked up 2 points from the first 4, and then ended up picking up 7 points from their last 3 games, and arguably the 3 toughest games they had, with Man City, Dortmund, and Atletico being their last 3. I think it's probably going to be a step too far. I think surely Inter will persevere over the 2 legs. Just how much they throw into this first leg is the question. And I sort of wasn't sure which way I was going to go, so this is the variety pick. This is where I've gone off into a different market and come up with something that I really, really like in the end. Okay. I've gone for a stats pick. I'm in the stats market, and it's a bit of a ladder opportunity as well, just to mix it up a bit more. Here are some of the shots totals that Bodo have faced in the Champions League so far. So Red Star, 26 shots. Galatasaray, 23. Juve, 23. Dortmund, 22. Atletico, 27. So 5 times they've faced well over 20 shots. Inter have hit 20 themselves 3 times, and they've also had a 17 and an 18, so they've had quite a few high shots totals themselves. The line here for Inter shots is 16.5.
Okay.
10-11 for over 16.5 Inter shots. As I say, they've done it 5 out of 8, and Bodo have shown plenty of form of giving up that sort of shots against lesser sides than Inter. So I'm going to play the over 16.5 as my main pick at 10-11. But a couple of rungs on the ladder. We'll take a big jump up to over 20.5. 3-1 for Inter to have more than 20.5 shots. And then over 24.5 is 8-1. So a couple of little nice steps up on the ladder. We're going to go for Inter to have tons of shots here. Over 16.5. 10-11, over 20.5, 3-1, over 24.5, 8-1.
I absolutely fucking love it, Barry. Maybe that mountain air has cleared all the fuzz out your brain, and you're seeing the board with alarming clarity this week. I love it. Back-to-back wins versus Man City and Atletico Madrid gave Bodo Glimt an unlikely qualifying spot. 7 of their 8 games, both teams to score over 2.5. That's a really, really strong trend. They were brilliant against Man City in the 3-1 win. Absolutely brilliant. Inter started well. They won 4 in a row. Then they lost 3 in a row. So clear form lines. They beat the bad teams and they lost to the good ones. I don't think they're very good particularly. They're like prime knocked out in the quarter-final off Arsenal or someone. They kept 4 clean sheets in the group. But this is tricky. Bodo Glimt play a really open style of play. We've got people in the chat. I'm not saying who. People in the chat saying that Bodo always score at home. It's a tricky trip, this, for Milan. It's very fucking cold up in the Arctic Circle. I'll be putting my big coat on, Baz, when I head out there. And I've seen pictures this week already. The snow plows having to clear the pitch. There's loads of snow on the pitch. The buses can't get in. Everyone's getting stuck. It's fucking chaos. Like, this is a tricky trip. I'm going to stick with that Bodo Glimt form of the both teams to score an over 2.5. 7 out of 8. It's hard to get away from. And it's 4-5 minus 125. The penultimate game sees Club Brugge take on Atletico Madrid. Club Brugge are 14-5 plus 280. The draw 13-5 plus 260. And Atletico Madrid are 9-10 minus 111. 19th versus 14th. Atletico Madrid had a 3-point advantage. Bruges were another team like Bodo Glimt. They won on match days 7 and 8 to qualify. They came out of nowhere. A proper mixed bag as well. They've got a 4-0 defeat and 2 3-0 defeats in there. But they've won 4-1 and won 3-0 twice. And then threw in a 3-3 against Barcelona. So it's absolutely, it's all over the graph. Like, you plot this, like, you're going to have to step back to look at where this form's going. Really hard to fathom. The domestic form's okay, means not much really. Atletico Madrid won 4 out of 8, but only won once away. They lost to Liverpool and Arsenal. They got a draw at Galatasaray. Both teams to score 7 out of their 8 games, but they're not playing that well. No winning 3 in La Liga. And they only won 3 of their 12 away games domestically as well. So, and this has been a big talking point in Spain, actually. Their away form hasn't been very good. So odds on for Atletico to win away here just doesn't appeal at all. I think Bruges can avoid a defeat. And the double chances, a live play. Bruges double chances 9-10, minus 111. And I'm just going to give breaking news that Joe Dollar has typed the letters NUFC in the comments. Well done, Joe. Welcome back. About time. Barry, Bruges, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, like it. This is one where I wanted to fade a favourite as well. In a game where they had a shot against, they still had a shot at top 8 going into the last game and managed to lose at home to Bodo last time out. They also dropped points to Galatasaray on the road. You've mentioned their away form isn't good. And for a team who were built on a sort of defensive solidity for years, they've had no clean sheets in the 8 games in this competition, conceded 15 in total. I just think struggling domestically, poor form as well, lost the last 2, no win in 3, and just 2 wins in the last 6 league games. So I just think they're worth taking on currently. And Bruges have been good enough, particularly at home, with the exception of the 3-0 loss to Arsenal. They've had the 3-3 against Barcelona, they beat Marseille, beat Monaco, and scored 10 goals across those games between Barcelona, Marseille and Monaco. Good enough for a goal here, at least. And I think that might be enough to keep them in this tie in this first leg. Same pick. I'm on the Bruges double chance at 10-11.
Didn't think I would have to get me really good out tonight, Baz. Final game is Olympiacos taken on by Leverkusen. Olympiacos are 31-20, plus 155. The draw 23-10, plus 230. Leverkusen 9-5, plus 180. Barry finishes off with a winner.
This was my least favourite game on the card. I think I didn't like it at all. I mean, we had a replica of it a few weeks ago. Olympiacos won 2-0 at home against Leverkusen in match day 7 and finished very strongly, but finished with 3 wins in a row. But this was certainly the standout result of their campaign. It's just hard to know what to make of Leverkusen's form. They're all over the place in this 3 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. I mean, they dropped points in 3 of their 4 home games, but then they went away and beat Man City 2-0. So really hard to get a feel of what to expect from Leverkusen. So that took us away from the sort of money line markets. I just wasn't sure what you're going to get from Leverkusen. And then you look at the goals for them as well. You don't get much help there. 4 games went under, 4 games went over. 4 games, both teams to score. 4 games, both teams to score no. So yeah, Leverkusen form didn't help me at all. I've leaned more into the Olympiacos form, where there was a lot more leans towards the unders. 5 of their 8 went under 2.5. And at home, 3 of the 4 went under 2.5. Definitely my least favourite pick on the card, but I'm going to take the unders in this one. Olympiacos by Leverkusen, under 2.5 goals at 10-11.
I quite like this, actually, because I think Leverkusen are way overpriced. The standout with the form is that 2-0 win over Man City. But that was at the time when Man City were getting beat off fucking everybody. They were having a proper wobble. If you take that bit of form out, and I know you can't just take it out, but there's not much else to go on for Leverkusen. Olympiacos won the last 3 to qualify. They had a really tough schedule as well. They had Barcelona, they had Real Madrid, they had Arsenal all in there. Leverkusen were bang average, and that we watched them as well for Newcastle. We should have beat them 3 or 4 that night. They were dog shit. And luckily, we saw this exact game in match day 7, as you said. Aye, Baz, what's happened there? The aliens come to get you.
I'm going to have to get out my seat and turn the light on, aren't I?
Why is the light gone out?
It's on a timer. I don't...
Fucking, what is going on in your house, buddy?
Stupid apps in it.
11 o'clock.
Everything's smart now, isn't it? 11 o'clock, yeah.
You're not smart, but not everything. Barry's gone dark mode. Oh, my God. Barry, that is no way to live your life, man. So, luckily, we saw this exact game in match day 7. Olympiacos were 2-0 up at half-time and won 2-0. I've seen Olympiacos play a few times as well. They're really good going forward. Like, they try to contradict what you instinctively know. I think everyone thinks of a Greek team. It just thinks of that team that won the Euros like 24 years ago. I think they all just play like that. 1-0 with an 84th minute corner. They're like the fucking Greek Arsenal. But they're quite good. They're quite lively. They make loads of chances. So I don't mind taking Olympiacos at 31-20, plus 155 on the money line. And the team total as well, I didn't mind 5-4, plus 125 for Olympiacos to score over 1.5 goals. Joe co-signs that. Olympiacos draw no bet for Joe. So yeah, I quite like the home side of that one, Baz. Somehow, I think there was too many talking points, Barry, in the first 20 minutes of the show, because we've made it to 57 minutes. So, good effort. All the games handicapped. Anything you want to tell the people before we let them go?
Yawning, tired, I'm gigging again Wednesday. Going to see Maximo Park this week.
Okay.
Something different.
Geezer from Maximo Park was doing a DJ set at the Gosforth Civic Theatre, I think the night after Pat Nevin.
Yeah, right.
Him and another bloke from some other band, I can't remember who it was, Smooth and Terrell or someone. Anyway, there you go.
So there you go, yeah. I'm out with Andy Bevan and Kieran this week. Both coming out for the gig, so should be good. Have a few beers and enjoy some live music.
You're miss the match?
No, it's 5:30 kickoff, isn't it?
Okay.
So...
get in the pub early.
Be in town early, watch the match.
Oh, beautiful.
7, straight into gig. Timing's worked out perfect.
That is the perfect crime, Barry. Beautiful. Yeah, mine's worked out nice because I've got the commentary at 8, but Newcastle kick off early, so I can watch Newcastle and then get straight into Bodo, Glimt, and into Milan. Beautiful. All right, then. I'm looking forward to the Champions League this week. It's still a new thing. This is the first time we've been in this round. So, yeah, it's all quite new and exciting. I think there's some betting opportunities as well. So, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back probably, Thursday night. Obviously, we're not going to be back on Wednesday. So Thursday evening, actually, I'll direct you. Anyone who's listening from across the pond. Oh, no, I mean, you can listen if you live over here as well. Wednesday night will be the first MLB gambling podcast of the new season. Me and D-Rock, we're going to do the NL East straight after Bodo, Glimt into Milan. So I'm triple parking. I'm going Newcastle match into Bodo, Glimt, Milan, into NL East preview with D-Rock. I am a factotum, Barry. So, yeah, baseball ramping up. Get involved in that. Just subscribe. You'll find us. You'll know where to look, etc. I've got my MLB gambling podcast jumper on, Baz. Right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Look out for the next Premier League pick show. Good luck with your bets, and we will see you all down the road. Cheers.